In 1984, the NBA was fading, ratings were low, the league was struggling, and Nike, just a running shoe company trying to stay afloat. Then came a skinny 21-year-old from North Carolina, Michael Jordan.
Michael challenges and slams. Here's Jordan for three. Yes!
By his third season, he was averaging 37.1 a night. By the end of his career, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, never lost in the finals. He dropped 63 on Larry Bird's Celtics, played through food poisoning in the 97 finals, and hit the coldest game winner ever in 1998. Off the court, his signature brand now generates over $7 billion a year. His total impact, over $10 billion worldwide. Jordan didn't just dominate basketball, he redefined what greatness looks like. This is the story of how one man changed the game forever. If you love stories like this, make sure to hit subscribe. Let's rewind to the late 80s because this is when everything started to shift for Michael Jordan. Early in his career, Jordan was putting up video game numbers. In just his third season, 1986 to 87, he averaged 37.1 points per game, the highest of his career. But come the playoffs, it was a different story. From 1988 to 1990, the Chicago Bulls were eliminated 3 straight years by the Detroit Pistons, including back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals losses in 89 and 90. Detroit didn't just play tough, they engineered the Jordan rules, a brutal, targeted strategy to shut him down. Pistons coach Chuck Daly explained, "If Michael was at the point, we forced him left and doubled him. You had to make contact, you had to be physical." Jordan responded the only way he knew how, by evolving. He teamed up with trainer Tim Grover and began an intense strength training regimen, adding 15 pounds of muscle during the 1990 off-season. "I was getting brutally beaten up," Jordan recalled. "I wanted to start fighting back." That transformation paid off. In 1991, Jordan broke through, beating the Pistons in a 4-0 sweep and eventually winning his first NBA title. He didn't just adjust, he weaponized adversity. With a stronger frame, a lethal fadeaway, and an unstoppable post-game, Jordan turned from an athletic phenom into the most complete player in the league. When you talk about greatness in basketball, Michael Jordan isn't just in the conversation. He is the standard. 6 NBA championships, 6 finals MVPs, and he never lost in the finals. That's unmatched. No one else has done it like that. He wasn't just a scorer, he was the scorer. Jordan led the league in points 10 times, with his highest at a jaw-dropping 37.1 points per game in the 86 to 87 season. That's video game stuff. Over his career, he dropped 32,292 points, averaging 30.1 points per game, still the highest in NBA history for anyone who's played over 500 games. Only Wilt Chamberlain matches that. And don't think he was just offensive. MJ was a menace on defense too. 9-time All-Defensive First Team, 1988 Defensive Player of the Year, a rare award for a guard. Playoffs? He took it to another level, 33.4 points per game, the most ever. He gave the Celtics 63 in a single playoff game in 86 and averaged 41 points in a finals series in 1993. 14-time All-Star, 3-time All-Star MVP. He even led the league in steals 3 times, finished with 2,514 of them, 3rd all-time. Numbers don't lie. Jordan changed what dominance looked like. Michael Jordan didn't just shine under pressure, he owned it. Let's talk about the moments that made him mythic. The shot. 1989. Game 5 versus Cleveland. The Bulls were still trying to shake off their losing reputation. Jordan hits that buzzer beater over Craig Alo and says later, "We started to get over the hump of losers mentality. We were starting to become a winning franchise, and the sky was the limit." That wasn't just a game winner, it was the beginning of something bigger. The flu game, 1997. It wasn't the flu, it was food poisoning. Jordan ordered a pizza late at night, and 5 guys showed up to deliver it. Only he ate it. By 2 a.m., he was violently sick, but somehow he played 44 minutes, dropped 38 points, and hit the game winner with 25 seconds left. He said, "I didn't want to give up. No matter how sick I was, I felt the obligation to my team, to the city of Chicago." That image of Scottie Pippen carrying him off the court, that's what the heart looks like. The last shot. 1998, Game 6 of the Finals. Bulls down 3. Jordan gets a quick bucket, strips Karl Malone, and then, 5 seconds left, crosses up Brian Russell and buries the jumper. Game, series, legacy. Jordan later said, "When the crowd gets quiet, the moment is there. When Russell reached, I knew the moment was there." These weren't just clutch shots, they were defining moments. Jordan didn't just rise to the occasion, he was the occasion. Back in 1984, Nike was not the powerhouse we know today. It was a struggling running shoe company trying to stay alive. And Michael Jordan, he didn't even want to sign with them. He was all in on Adidas. But Nike came to the table with something no one had ever seen before. A 5-year deal, $2.5 million for a rookie. That was insane money at the time. But what changed the game? They offered MJ his signature line and a cut of the profits. When the Air Jordan 1 dropped in 1985, it didn't just sell, it exploded. Nike's basketball revenue shot up to $126 million in just 1 year. But this wasn't just about shoes, it was the blueprint. The first time an athlete became a full-blown brand. Fast forward to now. Jordan Brand makes $7 billion a year. That's more than Nike's men's, women's, and kids divisions combined. In 2025, it even broke into Interbrand's top 100 global brands. The first time a personality brand ever made the list in 25 years. In 1992, Jordan led the Dream Team to Olympic gold in Barcelona. But this wasn't just about winning, it was about spreading the game. The team won every match by an average of 44 points. But the real win? They turned basketball into a global obsession. Jordan's highlight dunks, his swagger, and of course his 6 championships, it all connected with fans around the world. Before MJ, basketball was American. After MJ, it was everywhere. His brand now speaks that same global language. Some Jordan collections have resale values reaching 59% of their original price. Others have sold for millions at auction. That kind of demand? That's cultural. That's legacy. And it all started with one man who made the world fall in love with basketball. Michael Jordan didn't just play basketball, he changed the way the game looked and felt. His evolution on the court mirrored the evolution of the sport itself. Early in his career, he was a freak athlete, flying over defenders with raw speed and unreal hops. But over time, Jordan transformed into something even more dangerous, a complete artist with the ball in his hands. He developed that signature fadeaway jumper, especially from the post, a shot so smooth, yet so deadly, it became almost impossible to stop. That move alone felt like poetry in motion, and defenders had no answer for it. But here's the wildest stat. Jordan never scored fewer than 20 points in a game across his entire 1,264 game career. That's a level of consistency we've never seen before, ever. But Jordan's impact didn't stop when he stepped off the court. He didn't just change basketball, he redefined what it meant to be an athlete. He went from a skinny rookie in '84 to a $10 billion global icon. That journey wasn't just personal success, it was a blueprint for the future of sports. Jordan proved that athletes could be moguls. They could own their brands, create industries, and build legacies beyond the scoreboard. The Jordan Brand? Still pulling in $7 billion a year, nearly 20 years after he retired. From kids imitating his fadeaway and driveways to CEOs structuring brand deals around the Jordan model, his influence is everywhere. Jordan didn't just raise the standard, he rewrote the whole playbook. That's not just transformation, that's a revolution. And its ripple effects are still shaping the game and the world today. If you made it this far, you already know this was more than a highlight reel. It was a blueprint of how one man reshaped sports, culture, and business. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into the legend of MJ and want more stories that go beyond the box score, hit that subscribe button. We've got more untold stories, more legends, and more moments that changed the game forever. And hey, drop a comment below. What's your favorite MJ moment? Was it the flu game, the last shot, or maybe the first time you laced up a pair of Jordans? Let's talk about it. Because of greatness like this, it's always worth revisiting. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.